Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy Network. Y'all know on Mondays I be hyped. I'm psyched. Well, let's talk about some things right now because some people call it Motivational Monday. But this is what I want to talk about. We're headed to a new year. And I said, as I've been talking to people, why not start off with a mind shift change? And how we can live our life with positive expectations. Y'all, I tell you, I got the best person to talk about this. So I'm excited that we have actor, humanitarian, public speaker, motivational speaker, cheerleader. When I say his resume is full, his resume is full. A wonderful friend to folks out there, son, significant other. When I say this brother is he's not Hollywood. He's in Hollywood, does Hollywood, but he's not Hollywood. So I want to give you guys hope to know that there are good people out there. So the Women Are Worthy Network, we want to thank Mr. Geno Segers for being on the show. Hello, Geno.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me. I cannot wait to get into this. This is right up my alley.
Look, for the past couple of days, I tried this new eyelash glue, and I'm here already tearing up because of the glue. So, but yeah, I'm all about positivity. I'm all about, as we were talking earlier, you have to be careful of your words because what you put out there will come back. So, and I also wrote, we all know that positive thinking has power. And if we believe it's possible to achieve a goal or perform, it will perform particularly well. We're more likely to overcome obstacles and persevere until we achieve our goals. Now, I know that's possible. And I believe, Geno, that you can't stay stuck. I'm a survivor of sex trafficking. I'm a survivor of being homeless, but I don't look at the glass as half empty or half full. I say, give me the damn pitcher. Let me pour in the glass what I want to pour into the glass. Now, just researching you are magnetic. You have a light about you. Tighten up. You got a light about you. So, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you choose to put yourself out there? Because you can just make movies and do other things. Why do you feel it's important to put yourself out there to help others?
Wow. Again, let me start by saying thank you for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity. I look forward to any opportunity like this to reach out to people. And if anyone has any questions at all, feel free to email me. I'm open. I'm an open book. You can email me at geno@genosegers.com. I am open for any discussion, especially when it comes to positivity and accountability. But for me, it's all about just that. It's all about being positive and being accountable and holding myself to a standard and just really expecting from myself what I would expect from a treatment of others to me. So whatever I try to put out, I want that in return. In terms of respect, I give everybody respect, so I expect that in return. And vice versa. I just ask for the same respect that someone expects. And
Yeah.
so in that effort and in that same vein, I don't see life as obstacles or failures. I see them as challenges and obstacles to overcome. You know what I mean? And any challenge that comes before me, or any challenge that comes before anyone, you really all they have to ask yourself one question is, what are you going to do next? And so in that effort of asking myself what am I going to do next led me right here to you. Literally led me right here to you. I didn't have any aspirations of becoming an actor. I never had any aspirations of becoming a sumo wrestler. I never had any aspirations of becoming a cliff diver, becoming a full contact wrestler, moving to New Zealand, singing in a Broadway production of The Lion King. I had no aspirations of that. These were just obstacles that came into my way and I decided what to do next.
And
And
I love that. I love that you said it was obstacles. And let me give you guys a background story, okay? As some of y'all know, I'm one of those chicks that, I like, I was raised by men, so I have that male-like mentality, and I'm attracted to things like that. So y'all know I love my Spartacus. Y'all know I be talking about Spartacus. So I think it was my brother that called me one day and said, "Hey, you got to watch this new show called Banshee." And I'm like, "Banshee?" I'm like, "Dude, I got too much stuff I got to watch." And he's like, "You got to watch Banshee." So for me, The Untouchables, All Godfathers, and Banshee is on my TV that I watch religiously.
oh
So
wow.
I said, "Okay, let me turn it on." I'm watching, I'm digging it. Then I see this huge guy come on the screen, uh, Indian Little Stone,
Chasing
Chitlin,
Littlestone. Chasing
and
Littlestone.
I'm like, "Wait a minute, who is this man?" And for me, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, because y'all know, I do. It wasn't one of those sexual attraction kind of thing for me, because y'all know I don't think that way. It's more like his energy. He was playing a bad behind role, and I was hating him. Okay, but I also liked the character, so I had a love-hate relationship. So I'm bringing that to tell you, I'm gonna pull this plug because I'm gonna do it. Y'all got to watch Banshee. You got to watch Banshee. The minute when thank you, when his character was out, I'm like, I ain't watching it no more. I don't need to see no more episodes. I don't need to see that. And I'm letting you know, you gave me nightmares towards your ending. Okay, you gave me nightmares. But I say that to say, my brother, I'm all about giving people their roses while they're alive. When I saw that and I put it out in the atmosphere, I got to interview him. I got to interview him. The moment you received the correspondence, you called, we had that conversation. We're about to get a telephone interruption. I have the judge calling me. Basically, your adoption papers have been approved. We're now related, okay? We're now related.
Oh, that's good.
So I thought that, just watching you and then looking at other things, and it was a total opposite, because here you're this big guy, but I just want people I want them to go and watch Banshee. I want them to see, your acting ability. But more importantly, I also want them to go on your YouTube channel, Geno Segers, Segers on YouTube. You got to go. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. I had to give you that backstory, y'all, because I want to lead up into what we're going to talk about, because I think the energy you're putting into the world today and what you've been doing is absolutely amazing. So when we talk about, why do we need to live a life of expectations? I'm saying that because so many bad things are going on in the world. People are just, you see what's crime has gone up. How can we, with your thought process, how can that help people?
Well, okay, when I did The Lion King and moved back to America, finished up the last year and a half of the show, and moved to New York to try Broadway, life got really hard for me. Got really hard. But it never occurred to me that I could sell drugs. It never occurred to me that I could just rob somebody. It never occurred to me to even be a police officer or a fireman, because these ideas never occurred to me. I can't put myself in the position of someone who might take that opportunity. I cannot, because the idea has never even come into my process. That said, the determination that I have when there's an obstacle or something that I need to achieve would likely be the same determination that someone would have to do something negative, which I think couple that with some desperation and some hopelessness. So in my mind, the real problem is the hopelessness, is the desperation. How do we reach a person and help them understand that there are other things to embark upon? There are other things you can do. There are other opportunities. The two kids come from the same household. One kid grows up and does wonderful things. Another kid grows up and does terrible things. I mean, you can't, I don't know how to even, they don't pay me enough to figure that out. I mean, that's above my pay grade. Honest to God, I have no idea. All I know is what I'm going to do next to try to facilitate some good in the world, particularly around me. And if everybody does what it takes to facilitate some good around them, we can change it. We can change it. I can't change the world. I can only change the people around me. That's all I can change. And in an effort to do that, they can go out and change the people around them. And those people can change the people around them in an effort to change the world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So really, this platform gives us the opportunity to extend our reach, to extend our ability to make some change, or to show people, hey, life is not really that bad. It's tough, but it's not really that bad. You know what I mean? If you consider what people are going through on a day-to-day basis in other parts of the world. I mean, we got really, really poor people in this country who are sleeping on street corners. And then you got people worried about what they're going to wear to work tomorrow. I mean, really, man? They worried about what color the carpet's going to be and what color am I going to paint the walls? They're worried about things that are just, for all intents and purposes, are trivial. That's the dichotomy that we live in.
I agree with you on that, because as a person who I said, I've been through sex trafficking and homeless, and, going in the garbage and picking stuff from the bun. I was a teenager, ran away from home, slept and fell through the cracks and all of that. And I never thought about it. And at that time, looking at it now, it was God. I never thought about doing drugs. A lot of women around me, they were doing drugs. I never thought about doing drugs. That was just, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. And as you said, so for me, I had to go through that, because now when I look at people complaining about stuff, and I'm like, look, as long as you have life, there's hope. That's how I see it. As long as there's life, you have hope. And as long as I can look up I'm not 6 feet below ground, I'm above ground looking down, everything else is gravy for me. Because even my husband, he'll say, we celebrated 33 years. So even he said, congrats. Thank you. I'm a unicorn, as they call me, like black folks can't be married long,
Oh, that's crazy.
See, there's so many things that I just want to work through while I'm doing this and talk about relationships. But I'm saying that to say I don't want to say people complain, but they complain about the small stuff when there's bigger things in life to worry about. We survived COVID. We on something else. That's so much, like I'm on a prayer line or some things that I'm on, and I don't hear people saying certain things. Not that I'm judging them. I'm like, yo, we woke up today. That's half the battle.
Dude, I mean, you got another shot at it. Now, I heard an interesting thing to sort of go along with what you just said about waking up. If someone was to offer you $1 billion right now today, they're going to write you the check, you'd be pretty excited, wouldn't you?
Well, I need to know first what I got to do.
No strings. No strings.
Yeah, of course.
No strings. They're just
Yes.
going to write,
Yes.
Bezos is going to write you $1 billion check.
Yes. Yes. Of
You'd
course.
be excited, right?
Of course.
But then he changes the terms, and he says, okay, I'm going to write you this $1 billion check, but you're not going to wake up tomorrow morning. Do you take the check?
No. No.
No. So what in effect you're telling us is that waking up in the morning is worth more than $1 billion.
I like
So
that.
why do we not treat every day like it is priceless? It's a shame that we don't treat every day like it's priceless, because if you could get $1 billion a day, $100 billion, they couldn't offer you enough money not to wake up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I
So
like that.
that's really the essence of what everybody should be striving for, to make your day priceless. Because it ain't guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to any of us.
That's true, because what I'm doing now is, because I'm always having the opportunity to overcome. I want to be the best Jackie today than I was yesterday. So I try to do reflections at night. I'm getting back into meditation and, things that COVID has done some great things for me. I'm going to keep it real. I understand what has happened, but it has made me prioritize more and self-reflection. So for me, I'm staying away from, and I'm going to say, y'all don't send me no emails. I don't like when I hear people say, oh, it's Monday, or thank God it's Friday. Every day should be Friday. What are your thoughts?
Every day should be your birthday. Celebrate life every day. Don't wait a whole 364 days to celebrate life. Celebrate life every day.
Genos, what brought you to this? Because for me, I wasn't brought here. I went through countless therapies, went through everything, because the old Jackie was not a nice Jackie. Okay. I don't think I was. I don't think I'd want to be her friend, because she was judgmental. You had to have a certain car and all that. But because of life circumstances and things, I evolved, which everyone wants to do. So what has brought you here?
Well, Jackie, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily want to be friends with myself 20 years ago. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, there's a lot that me and my 20-year past have in common. But if I were the same as I am now 20 years ago, I haven't done any growing. I mean, I haven't made any strides in any direction. I'm just stood still for 20 years. I mean, it's a testament to your growth that you are unsatisfied with who you used to be. No one should be satisfied with who they used to be. No one. Everybody should be striving to be a better version of themselves. I mean, I'm not. Look, life is hard. Let's not kid anyone. But it's really about the choices you make, the choices, the things you do about the things that happen to you. It's a hard thing to master, but there is. I've been studying Stoicism. And the great Stoics would say, there is no good, there is no bad. There are just things that happen. Now, the good and bad come in how you react to them.
Right.
So you could choose to react negatively, or you can choose to react positively. But there is no good, there is no bad. And other Stoics in the same vein would say, love of fate, amor fati, means love of fate. Love the good like you love the bad. Not just accept it, not just tolerate it, but love the bad. Because the bad things that happen to you are going to shape and mold you into the person that you want to be. The good things that happen to you is going to shape and mold you into the person that you want to be. It's easy to be successful. It's easy to be successful. It's easy to be winning. But it's not until you're losing that we see who you are. The other night, that guy from Washington punched his teammate. That happens all the time. That happens in the locker room all the time. Wouldn't have happened like that if they were winning. Was he showing us who he really was? Was he showing us a glimpse of who he really is?
Right.
That kind of pressure. I mean, the pressure to start, pointing out your teammates' flaws, pointing out and pushing his head. Come on, man. We grown men here. You know what I mean? Ain't no grown man gonna let you ain't no grown man gonna let you stun him. And if anybody out there has ever been on a football team, they know what that means. When he put his finger in your head, they know what that means. They know what that means. Ain't nobody gonna put their finger in my head, especially my teammates.
Right.
I mean, I love this guy. We love each other. We brothers, and there's no way he's gonna put his finger in my brother's not gonna do that to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so what I'm saying is those are the challenges that you're faced with during the good times, during the bad times. How are you going to react to it? What are you going to do about it? Because life happens to us all. Life happens to each and every one of us. It's what we do about it that makes us who we are.
That is so true, because what I realize when I don't let things flow, I'm an empath, right? And I've noticed usually when you have I used to suffer from panic attacks, and I'm going to say used to. That usually happens because you want to be in control of things. You're not letting it just go. And the minute things will happen, because I keep saying now, I'm in this world, I'm not of this world, right? And when you mentioned earlier that life is hard, is life really hard, or do we make it hard? Do we make it more complicated as humans? I mean, that's just food for thought, because I was thinking about it the other day. There's things where we know we should be doing and things that we're not supposed to be doing. So are we as humans making it, because whoever, God created this, are we making it more complicated than it needs to be? We should support people. We should do certain things. That's a question for you. What is your...
my take on it, Jackie, is life is really simple. It's just not easy.
Right. Okay.
We know the answers.
Yes.
We know what we need to do. We know for example, when it comes to relationships, we know that this person is not right for us.
Yes.
We know that this person is a pushover. We know that this person is not going to bring anything credible to our lives. Yet we go anyway. That's where it's not easy. It's simple. Life is really simple. It's just not easy. And that's what I mean by life is hard. Life, the choices that we make.
Right.
Sometimes unforeseen events befall us all. Things happen to people. Bad things happen to good people all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. But the choices that we make, where we find ourselves in a conundrum because of the choices we make, we already knew that choice was going to lead us, possibly lead us down that road. She knew that he was no good when she said yes to him.
Preach.
She knew he wasn't no good.
Preach.
She knew he wasn't no good, right? She knew he wasn't ready to take on the responsibilities of a family. She knew. She knew. He knew that she wasn't ready to settle down. He knew, but he wanted to convince her that she was ready. She was the right one for him. No, if someone doesn't want to be with you, if someone doesn't want to settle down with you, leave them where they stand. Believe what they say and keep it moving. But we complicate our lives by trying to have what it is we can't have. For whatever reason, people want what they can't have. The worst thing you can do if you're trying to lose weight is go on a diet. But now you want that cake. Now you want that apple pie. Now you want that, you want all these things that you can't have because you can't have it because the diet restricts you. You can't have it. You can't have it. Now you gotta have it. You know what I mean? Now you gotta have it. So the best thing to do is to set up a meal plan around your activity level. Set up a meal plan that's going to be a daily meal plan, but then increase your activity. Do that for 6 months and you start to see some gains.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start peeling off little things here and there. You know what? I'm going to cut back on these sodas. I'm going to cut back on these potato chips. I ain't going to buy no more potato chips. Then you see more gains in another 6 months. So you're a year into your training, a year into your diet, your regimen, your food regimen. Whatever reason, diet is a bad word for most people, but the way you're practicing eating, and you see these results that are amazing. You get these compliments. You've had to go buy new clothes. You've changed your look because now you can't wear those big clothes no more.
Mm-hmm.
You 2 sizes too small. So you don't want to look sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
So now you go out and you buy yourself a new wardrobe. You got some new clothes. You look good. You feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You perform good as a result of the discipline it took for you to get up every morning and go work out for 6 months that led to a year that led you to where you are. It's all about those. To me, it's all about the choices, Jack. It's all about the choice.
It is, and the mindset,
Right.
So since we're talking about mindset, 4 days ago you talked about anger. You mentioned you should put distance. I told you, look, when I say I research. You talked about putting distance from the reaction. Can we speak a little bit about that? Because so often, there's people walking around with anger management issues, displaced anger.
Yeah.
So please put that in perspective for us.
Well, the perspective that I was coming from in putting distance between the event and your reaction was based around someone that you're going to be seeing on a regular basis, a coworker, your best friend, your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad. They do something that hurts you or makes you angry, and it infuriates you, and you just want to tear something up. Give that some time, because like the action that they took, you can't take back your reaction. Once it's out there, it's out there. Especially if it's someone that you love, especially someone you're willing to sacrifice for. Give that some time, whether it be half a day, 2 days, sometimes a week. Wouldn't suggest that with your wife, though. I give it an hour. That if I'm angry with my significant other, I give it an hour, and then I come back to it, because now I can think. Because if my reaction instantly is harsh, that's only going to hurt her. It's going to perpetuate hurt, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to have this come back up as a result of something else later on down the line. I want to solve one problem at a time. I don't want to create a bigger problem as a result of having a problem. So putting distance between the event and what you do about it is very important to me and my loved ones and those people that I'm willing to sacrifice for. And I would recommend that to anyone who has a relationship that they want to maintain, that they have to maintain. Divorce is not an option for me. It's just not an option for me. I'm not, especially this unreconcilable differences. I don't know what that is. Don't talk to me about no. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere. Where you going? You better come and sit down here. Let's talk about this. I mean, and this whole idea of, I honestly believe that dating has trained people to get divorced. When you date and you don't like the guy and you're ready to move on, you just break up with him and go to the next one. And so it's a habit that we have once we get to adulthood and you're in a relationship, you married, and he doesn't do what you like him to do, you break up with him and move on. It's I'm not suggesting that people don't date, but if you're dating with a view to marriage, that's completely different than going out on a date. You know what I mean? You go out on a date. Okay, I'm gonna see if I want to get to know this guy. Okay, I don't really like him. Don't waste his time. You know, I don't really like her. I'm not gonna waste her time. You know, I'm gonna move on to someone that I'm looking to pair with. I'm looking to be partners with. Now, a man shouldn't be. I honestly don't think a man should do that till he's 35. I don't think a man should be trying to get married till he's 35. That's me. I don't think that any man should be thinking about marriage until he's 35, because he's gonna be marrying someone about 25. Because women tend to typically tend to want to get married between 25 and 30. Typically. Now, everybody's not the same, and there are exceptions to every rule, but the exception never disproves the rule. Typically, women want to get married between 25 and 30. A man between 35 and 40 will have the means, have the experience, will have the patience, should have the patience to be able to to be able to guide his family in the right direction to be productive. That's just the way I think of it.
I cannot.
Everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same, but just how I feel about it.
No, I agree with you and I'm saying why I agree, because that's why I'm going to be doing this relationship show, because I want to talk to women and men about that, because you're right. You know, he's sold his wild oats by that time. Okay. I think for me, it's not dating. It should be courting. You should court first. I'm telling you, I got this down. Kevin Samuels, I got this. You should court first, because when you court, then you know who you want to have that forever with. Because so you court several different people, okay?
Right.
Then you decide of those several people which one you can more zone, you vibe with, you have morals, you share, whether culture or whatever it is. That's what I believe people should do. You should court first, then on the dating, because once we dating now, we on the road to marriage. Okay, that's
view to marriage.
Okay,
view to marriage. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Jackie. View to marriage.
And so there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be coming out of my mouth that people are going to be shocked. As a woman, this is what I'm saying. But again, being raised by men, and I see how it is, and I have that, I get it. Because a lot of our friends were married around the same time we were married. We're the only ones left. And I tell people, I'm not trying to stay married just to say I'm married, because one thing about me, I can start all over again, because I am a blessed child. I'm blessed. The universe, God is going to take care of me. I'm not trying to stay, okay, we can say 34, 35. So, and I have this thing with my husband that if we're going to have a disagreement, let's not do it in the house. Let's go outside by the lake. I don't want to leave that energy, because I'm all about energy. And then too, when you're
I like that.
I got some more.
And then, I like that.
Seriously, you don't want to leave the energy in the house. And then here's the other thing. When you're outside, and I'm not saying go to dinner. No, go to a lake, someplace, a park or something. And then you notice you ain't going to be no yelling, no screaming, no name calling, because you're outside. You still can get your point across. So these are the things, and these are the things I ain't going to take credit for this. My grandpa taught me all of this, and I remembered as a kid, at his knee, he would tell me about relationships. So that's the thing. And I tell people, don't argue in the house. And sometimes I would have to put my disagreement on pause and okay. Right. So what we do is we go out on let's say a Sunday. So, because then you have time to, just like what you said, you have time to think about it. You don't want to react, because this mouth here used to be worse than a gun. Okay. And then I realized, look, I can kill you I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, Jamaican and Cuban. That's it. That's it.
That's a fire tongue right there.
Thank you.
Fire tongue, man.
Thank you. So my thing, and I'm a Capricorn, so I'm thinking that it's just bad. Look, I'm telling you, I used to tell people I wouldn't marry me because I am not a trip. I am a journey. You hear me? I'm a journey. My husband needs a badge to be married to.
Oh, wow.
He needs an award to be married.
Oh, wow.
How many women gonna say that? I'm being honest.
Yeah, you know,
I'm
honestly,
the issue. It ain't him. I'm the issue.
There's a level of accountability that
Yes.
a lot of women today aren't willing to accept. I don't want to get in. I don't want to I don't bash anybody. I try to look at things in a positive way, and I try to look at things in a constructive way.
Right.
I want to build people. I don't particularly want to tear anybody down. But the truth is, you almost can't constructively criticize our sisters nowadays. You almost can't.
Oh,
I mean, you almost can't, because like, even if you say something like, "Hey, listen," if they ask you a question, like I get a lot of emails about words of wisdom, and the sisters will ask me a question, and I'm like, yeah, you don't really want the answer to that. You don't really want the answer to that, because you can almost see the way the question is framed. You know, they don't want the answer to the question, I'm letting him go because he ain't bringing enough to the table. And like, you know what I mean? That kind of they don't want the truth. If I criticize that, or if I say to her, how would you feel if he did the same to you? How would you feel? How would he be a low down, dirty dog if he left you because you weren't pulling your weight in terms of, or you were going through a bad time and you gained some extra weight and you lost your mom and you lost your job and you leave him? I mean, would it be okay for him to leave you? In other words, no. But a lot of women are wanting to leave their partners because the partner's going through a hard time. The partner might be down on his luck, or down on his in his career. He may have gotten fired, may have gone through this COVID thing and got a little depressed, gained a little weight. People are, women are leaving their husbands, but
that's superficial, because at the end of the day,
yeah,
he can lose the weight, okay?
Lose the weight.
Let me tell you,
get another job.
Look, I don't know where this interview, I know how I wanted this interview to go. It just went left, okay? Because we getting real. It get real. Let me roll up my sleeves, okay? Let me pop my collar, okay? Women, and I'm going to say it because maybe some people would think it's inappropriate for you to say it because you're a man, and it should be. Women have lost their ever-loving mind ever since Oprah went off the air. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying Oprah was the leader, but Oprah would bring experts on the show to talk about things. So women, that it was their therapy session, in other words, right? So, and I'm not saying all women, so don't send me emails that I'm saying all women, because I'm telling you, when I say this relationship show is going to be off the chains, it's going to be off the chains, because that's where I'm unfiltered. Here, I'm interviewing, and 100% me.
Yeah.
We cannot, because I hear a lot of my friends telling me, well, they met this guy, what he's bringing to the table. I said, lady, he done built the table. What you bringing to the table? Your good looks. What happens when you gain weight? Your good looks, sex gonna wear off after a while, because, and I don't care if you are shooting diamonds out of there, okay? It's gonna wear off after a while. It's gonna be some later on in years, like my grandfather told me, you're not gonna want to do that anymore. So you have to develop a friendship. In sicker, in richer, we're talking about rich, we're talking about, if you're having a significant other, you have to remember, there's going to be good times, there's going to be bad times, okay? I'm not here to tell anyone to, other than him putting his hands on you, yes, leave. But
Oh
you
yeah.
need to know who you're dating. I don't understand people. They see, especially in Atlanta, they see the guy with these cars. Half of these guys are buy here, pay here. These guys have all these women. So then, or he's with a woman, he decides to cheat with his woman with you, then you expect him to leave his woman to be with you. Why would you want to be with a cheater? Why?
Oh, that's a bad decision. That's a bad decision. Life is simple. We just make it complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna go out and take another woman's man and expect him to be loyal to you.
Well, it's on Instagram. If you notice, you see all these Instagram models sliding into celebrities' DMs. Then,
oh yeah.
I'm not understanding. Look, you my brother, so I know you get a lot of in your DMs.
Yeah, but honestly, what's crazy is I don't really, Instagram types aren't really interested in me. They just, I'm not cool. I don't have any tattoos. I don't have any, they're not attracted to me like that. I don't fan a bunch of money. I don't have money fanning out my money or anything like that. I don't have cash all around me and gold full front. Those types of women aren't interested in me, which is good, which is really good, because I'm not interested in them. In fact, I'm less interested in them than they are in me. I'm far less interested in them. But I say that to say, men almost get what they put out. So if you put it out there like that, girls will come into your DMs. They'll come into your DMs. You know what I mean? And like when I was doing The Lion King, for example, and I would leave the stage door, and I would see the women literally lined up trying to get autographs. Most of them were just fans of the show.
Right.
But you could almost point out the ones that were looking for Mufasa, the ones that were looking for Timon, the ones that were looking for Simba, the ones that were looking for the gazelle dancers, the ones that were, you could almost pick them out. I say that to say that there is that element. There is that element of that group of people that want whatever it is you bring into the table, whatever it is. But Instagram is really not my world. Instagram models and things like that, those girls don't want me. I'm square. I'm what they call a lame. I'm lame. I'm not cool. I'm not flashy. I'm not any of that. And fortunately, I really don't care. I'm not any of that anyway.
Right.
I'm not gonna be doing a bunch of Instagram. I'm not gonna be doing words of wisdom with no shirt.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Thank you.
I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm not doing that. I'm just not.
Where has morals? Because I'm trying to figure out. Because I'm not blaming social media at all. It's the people. When have things changed? Because I mentor a lot of young girls, and I bring regular people. Well, I bring everyone on this platform. Whether you're a celebrity, that's you're an actor. That's just your occupation, right?
Yeah.
I bring everyone to the table. I don't care if you're a mom at home and you survived cancer, and I'm bringing you on this platform. But I'm trying to figure out, because, back in the day when I was growing up, it was all about, you be respectable, you do and say certain things. Now, everything is all over social media. You can just go on someone's social media and know what kind of person they are, just by reading, their social media. So my question is, and especially for Black men, what has happened? I'm just trying to figure that out, because I can't speak for white men. I can't speak for white women. I can speak for coming from a Black woman standpoint. Now, I don't have them disrespecting me, because, one or two will try to holler, and I'll put like, look, I done told y'all I'm married. You don't want to be part of this, and I don't want to be. I'm in something that I love, but I don't break them down. You know what I'm saying? I inject a little joke with it, and then it's fine because I don't have any guys doing craziness. Even when I was working, I used to train doctors in a male-dominated thing. When they would try to holler, I give them that look, and they would call me Ice Queen. If it ain't about work, don't ask me for no drink. Don't ask me for nothing because I'm gonna hurt you. Because I like to use my hands. Okay, in the past. So I just want to see. My thing is, what has changed, Geno? What has changed? Because it has to be a change. Something happened.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jack. I learned unconditional love from someone that I was not romantically involved with. I learned patience from a person that had very little. And I learned determination, or I learned trust from a person who didn't trust me. And you could learn tons of that just from your dad.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to love unconditionally from my dad. We weren't romantically involved because he's my dad. Right? I learned patience from my dad, and he didn't have any patience for anybody, but he had patience for his kids. And it taught me that, I see, it made his patience with me and my brother even more valuable. It just made it abundant because he was so patient with me and my brother, I learned how to trust myself from a coach who didn't trust me. Because I knew my worth, and I knew that his lack of trust of me was misguided. And I knew I could trust myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned how to trust myself. Again, I say all of that to say that where it went wrong, I think fathers were kind of manipulated out of the home with social welfare and all of that in the 60s, creating this disconnect between our fathers and the children. Daughters need fathers, I would say probably as much, if not more, than sons need fathers. If one of them needs the other more, I would give the edge to the daughter.
Oh my God, Geno, get out of my head.
I'm dead serious. I would give the edge to the daughter. I mean, fractional. I mean, like just this much. Like, it's so minute, but it's just, I would give the edge to the daughter because the daughter needs that example of what to consider in a mate when it is her time. And she needs that structure that only a father can provide. And I'm not saying that mothers can't do it. I'm not saying that mothers haven't done it, or all mothers haven't done it. I'm just saying that let's look at the evidence.
Well, I was raised by a single dad, and I'm gonna say it. I was raised by a single dad because, I'm not saying you're being politically correct, because I just love how we take off the gloves and we're speaking now.
Right.
I was raised by a single dad, and my grandfather also had a great hand raising me. When my grandfather passed, that's when things went downhill. But I'm here and I'm alive. And I remember when I used to be a kid in Jamaica, my grandfather would wake me up 6 o'clock in the morning. We would go outside, and he would just impart pearls of wisdom in me as a little kid because I looked like him. So people would think I was his child or whatever. So I'm saying that because, and then, being around my father and all his friends, because at one point, there was no woman figure or whatever. It was just me and my dad. And he would go to the airport, leave me in the car because he would work. His friends would come in, babysit me, give me my bottle on their breaks, go back out. And, they would rotate this, right? They would rotate.
Yeah.
And I tell people that if there was a choice as a girl, you first fall in love with the man, whether your father or grandfather. To this day, Geno, I've never had issues with man and women relationships. I've always chosen right guys. The right guys have always chosen me. I've never
Wow.
been hit. None of that. Look, I done told you I was the issue in the relationship, not them. So, so I'm going to be fully transparent. I've always had great guys in my life. Always, always, always. And I say that to say this. I have to credit having a man in my life, knowing what not to choose and what to choose. Like with my grandfather, everything to choose from. He was a great granddad. My father, he had his, because my grandfather was born God knows when. And, my father now is a little different. I fell in love with him because he reminded me of James Brown. He was just, he was so fly.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for
yeah.
me, again, and being raised by men, I had that do-like mentality. You know what I'm saying? And because I saw women, when I did see women around me and I saw what they were doing, I hated women. I hated women. And it took a stint for me being in the hospital with the doctor telling my husband, she may not make it. Made me had a realization, and he gave me Women Are Worthy. I'm like, I'm not working with women. God's like, you gonna work with women. I said, I'm not working with them. I don't like them. They crazy. I don't want to work with them. He's like, you gonna work with them. I'm like, whatever. It ain't happening. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. Left the hospital, went on my way. He tapped me on the shoulder. I said, I am not working with women. Ended up back in the hospital. And it was really bad. And then he said, you have to work with women. I promise you, I picked up my phone while I was in the hospital. I wrote, this is my letter of resignation, effective immediately. I spelled resignation wrong, and I spelled effective wrong. Okay. I texted to my boss, effective immediately. And I started to fall in love with my feminine self, because then with women, with guys, you can say whatever, it's no big deal. When you say that to a woman, it's like, well, what do you mean? The tone and the cadence. It's a lot. So I'm learning now how to come into my feminine energy, my feminine self. And when I say I love my women, but we have to learn to value and love ourselves more. You know what I'm saying? We have to learn to do that. So I do agree. If there was a choice, if God were to come and say, Jackie, it's either your mother or father, I'm going to pick my father any day. Because
we need both. Don't get me wrong. We
no,
need both.
I agree.
Yeah, we need both.
I agree.
But I think that the father not being in the home
yes
is caused a problem. And since we keeping it 100.
Okay, don't get me canceled.
No.
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
We the media and entertainment has raised our daughters and our children to accept things that are completely unacceptable, to accept things like how to treat someone, how to react to someone. When our children are learning that from a reality TV show, that's a problem. That's a real big problem. And if you think about, it's simple to me. Women are saying, I don't want to submit to no man because what am I submitting to? I understand that. But I always say to mothers, and I always say the same thing to fathers. I say, mothers, you want to treat your husband the same way you expect a little girl to treat your son. Fathers, you want to treat your wives or your baby mama the same way you expect a little boy to treat your daughter. If you can master that, we can turn the corner. We can turn the corner. But if you can't get treating each other right, you can't get respecting each other, then there is going to be no corner. We're just going straight down the road to hell, because you ain't gonna turn no corner. You can't treat each other right. We can't treat each other with respect. We can't treat each other with accountability. We can't come to the table with, hey, this is my fault. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. I'm not going to try. I'm going to do better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't come at each other like that. What example are we giving our kids?
Mm-hmm.
What real example are we giving our children? We're not. So we leave them to be raised by social media. We leave them to be raised by reality TV. We leave them to be raised by The Weeknd and Post Malone and all these, you know, these rappers. I mean, think of it this way. If young girls, young ladies refuse to talk to boys until they pull their pants up and get a haircut.
Okay, we ending the show now. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's done. It's a wrap. Guys will pull their pants up and cut all their hair off. They be tight and highs all day, every day. When we get to that, we have to be the example that we expect in our children. We have to be that example.
The fact, because I have 4 brothers and they never wore their pants, but up below their waist. I don't understand it. I was watching television the other day and I saw this guy doing the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. How is this sexy? Does he not know? Maybe he needs to be given a history on prison, on what that actually means, where it informs that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think history lesson, I think these kids need that history lesson for whatever reason. I don't think they get it. I don't think they understand it. And again, going back to, and it's breaking up the nucleus of the Black family. It is. That's exactly. Oh, this could be another show, dear Lord, hallelujah. But okay, Jackie, bring it in. And it's important to me because we're so busy. We see us or other people criticizing our community, but we also need to take accountability for the things that we're doing and the things that we're saying. We can't keep saying the white man, the man. We gotta stop saying that. Okay, we gotta stop saying the man. The white man don't want this. The white. No. We gotta cut. And here's the thing that, oh Lord, please, y'all, just give me. Please charge it to my head. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. But I'm going to say I'm going to say this. I am so sick of hearing slavery. Let me finish before they cut me off. Let me explain, y'all. Please, just give me a few minutes to explain what I'm saying. I'm not saying slavery wasn't bad. That's not what I'm saying. Right. I don't want to hear the behavior that's happening now is because of slavery. What I mean by that is, if we would come together as a community collectively, do you know how we've invented so many things in this world? If we were to come together collectively, supporting each other, doing business with each other, it would be so much nicer. And then we can't keep blaming the man and slavery. Because I was talking to someone the other day and she said, well, slavery, this is why we're always beat down. But I'm like, but what are you doing? What are you doing to change that perception? What are you doing? I think I'm going to get a lot of emails with that one. They're going to try to cancel me. Ooh, Lordy. Cancel culture. That's another thing. That cancel culture.
God. Oh man, but like I don't say anything in malice.
Right.
I say everything to try to be uplifting and to try to be constructive. And if anybody takes anything I say personally, or they have a problem with something I say, how I feel. They're the ones with the problem because I don't have a problem with anybody. I love everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you feel or think. You got a right to think how you feel. I think how you think and feel how you feel. I mean, I don't have a problem with white supremacists. You want to be a white supremacist? That's great, man. All the power to you. Because I know you're not going to come knock on my door and want to come to the cookout. You ain't going to want to come to my cookout if you're a white supremacist. Do it over there, though. You got to do it way over there.
But at least you know who they are.
I know who you are.
At least you know who you are.
I know who you are. You don't want no part of me? Respect, my brother. I will leave you to your vices. You have a great day. We can work together. We can do whatever we want to do. We can go shoot pool, whatever. But you're going to go do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing. And I got nothing against nobody. I mean, the more you show me, the more I'm going to believe. That's it.
And that's why I tell, when I hear someone saying, I'm such a B. Not me. They'll call themselves like, I'm such a B. When I hear women saying that about themselves, I
Oh
look
yeah,
at
that's
them.
different. That's we're old fashioned. We are old fashioned. I would never call someone a bad B or a boss B. I would never.
I
I don't use language like that.
women, and when women say that about
No.
themselves, I'm saying to myself, okay, I gotta watch you. Because you pretty much tell, if you know what the word B means, you pretty much telling me who you are. So
Yeah,
since I
man.
know who you are, let me slide on over.
Yeah, but I'm past that. I'm too old for that. I'm not calling anybody that, and I'm not. I'm see no anybody that will call themselves that would be interested in me. So I'm by default. I'm out of the game by default, which is great. It's great. That's perfect for me. I'm cool with it.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What do you do to unwind? Because I'm all about
Oh man.
self-care.
Oh man. I do some really unhealthy stuff to unwind because I have really become a tequila like connoisseur. I
Mm.
really love tequila, and I don't particularly like the white or the low end tequila. And I'm not going to say which brands, but I'm not going to. I don't want to get no strikes or anything like that. But I like a high level, a higher brand tequila, and I
Okay.
really enjoy, especially the reposados or the extra añejos or the even sometimes even a silver is nice. A blanco is nice, but
Mm.
I'm partial to the reposados, a little more age, a little more time, and the extra añejos, the añejos or an extra añejo. I just really gotten into tequila, and I like cigars. I know that's bad, but I don't do it all the time. I don't
Right.
do it like a I'm not. I don't want to be a daily kind of guy, but just a really nice Hoya de Monterrey double Corona with a good añejo or reposado. Oh man, that's 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 heaven right there.
What's your favorite destination as a vacation to go to? Or if you haven't gone there, where would you like to go?
Oh, my favorite destination would be China by
Okay.
far. By far, it's just so beautiful, and there's so many things to do, and it's so much of China that we don't get to see. I
Mhm.
would go back to China again.
If your life was made into a book, what would no into a song? What would the title be?
Wow,
Yeah, I got to pull out the big guns now.
wow.
You can take time to think about that.
No, no, I'll say uh, don't try when you can do so much better.
Mm. Mm. What's your favorite book?
My favorite book would probably be Black Rednecks and White Liberals by Thomas Sowell.
Mm. Guess I know pretty much who you are now. Um, what what was another question I wanted to ask? What would you tell your 12-year-old self?
I would tell my 12-year-old self, hang in there. Your voice is not weird. It's going to do a lot of good for you.
So if let's say we get off this live and Joe Biden calls you and President Biden calls you and says, "Hey Gino, I have $5 million. We're going to gift to your foundation." What would you do? What would be the first thing you would do with that money?
I would set up a tour.
You'd what?
I would set up a tour.
A tour.
A tour, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
A
would go on
tour.
tour, and I would go on tour, and I would donate my time to the most needed areas of elementary schools and things of that sort. Because even though I haven't played Mufasa in a long time, I can still use that moniker, formerly Mufasa of the
Mm,
Lion King. And no child, no elementary school will say no to Mufasa. And I could go on a nationwide tour and go and talk to kids about making good life decisions now to impact their futures in a positive way tomorrow.
What do you love about yourself?
What do I love about myself? I love the things that come out of my mouth unexpectedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you, I don't want to say what do you struggle with. What do you want to improve about yourself?
What I want to improve, I want to improve my knowledge on YouTube on the YouTube platform. I want to increase my knowledge on the YouTube platform, become a better content creator on YouTube. I got you.
And you know what? And what I'm going to say too is it's just the more content you put out there. So you don't have to, because right now people think it's just gossip and all that stuff that's taking over YouTube. There's so many people out there that want to see positive stuff like this, that what we're doing, we just have to keep putting out, because I'm new to it, but I know what's going on, and talking to people who have a lot of followers who are telling me what to do and how to do it and things like that. And just being yourself, just being yourself, just put it out there, being consistent, and just doing what you're doing. Because again, I just love what I'm doing. I really love the skin that I am in. I just love it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm
that's
just
good.
walking,
that's great.
Now I'm walking into this thing where I met some ladies and they walk anywhere from 3 to 6 miles a day. So like today we walked 5 miles, and I just love the skin that I'm in. I've always loved myself, but back then it was like vanity. I just love this caring person, this loving person, because I love everyone. I don't have a problem with you being in the auditorium where I'm at. But if you and I are not on the same page, we can agree to disagree. But if it's at that level where we don't have things in common, I want you out of the auditorium. I will bless you and love you from a distance. I'm okay with doing that. I'm all about positive energy and people trying to be positive and working to be positive. That's where I'm at right now in my life. I'm allergic to negativity. I break out in hives. So I just love, I don't know what tomorrow has in store for me. I feel there's something bigger, but I'm okay waiting for it to happen, but doing the work while it happens. So if there was a role out there that's cast, what role would you like to, if they were going to reboot it, that you would like to be in?
There are 3 roles that I would drop everything to do. One would be the role of Johnny Hartman, because he's a baritone singer. The other one would be the role of Thurgood Marshall.
Wow.
And the other role would be Adam Clayton Powell.
Wow, that's my baby.
And then Cap Calloway as well, but I would have to do a lot of changes to pull off a Cap Calloway.
I want to put this out there because I know you're watching this, Rock Johnson. I know you're watching this. Okay? I know you're watching it. You watching this, and I'm telling you this, right? Because I'm gonna make sure this interview gets all over social media. You need to call Geno. You need to call Geno. I know you're doing great things with Kevin Hart, but you need to call Geno. And Kevin, in the event you want to do something with Rock and he's booked, you need to call Geno. Okay? I'm telling you, this man is mad talented.
And I'm telling you right now that Kevin does not have my number.
He got to have your number. His people can
He
get your
ain't got
number.
my number. He ain't got my number.
Look, we're gonna put this into we manifesting this, okay?
I'll take
Crazy
it. I'll take
things that
whatever. I'll
happen,
take whatever. Okay, whatever they
okay?
bring.
So don't mess up my
Whatever they bring.
manifestation. Let me
I
put it
won't
out
do
there,
it. I
okay?
won't do it. I'll
So
let you do
Kevin,
it.
you know Rock is booked. He might be running for president. He's doing 50 million things. You need to call Geno. And Rock,
I'm here.
you need to do something with Geno, okay? Because I'm gonna make sure I keep hashtagging everybody with this one, okay? And I'm going to even do, because I was nervous when I put the video on Instagram. I wasn't sure if they was going to, strike me or take it off or whatever, but they let it, Facebook even let it go through. So I'm like,
oh, wow, okay, okay.
So I'll wait. Okay. Can't get on Facebook tomorrow, but I'm going to try. But I'm here to tell you, my brother, you are the real deal, okay? And I thank you. And I want to say this too to your significant other. Thank you, my lady. Thank you for allowing him. First of all, he could be doing something with you and you allowed him to do this, okay? Because you could have, whatever. And I want to thank you for being the queen that you are, because obviously you got to be a queen for this king, okay? So thank you.
She absolutely supports any effort that I'm making in this industry. So I am thankful for her. Don't get me wrong. I'm truly thankful
for her too. So one woman to another, I want to thank her for just supporting your dreams, because we know when you have a significant other, if they're not supporting it, it could be hell in the household.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I want to thank her for who she is and what she does and the joy she brings to your life. Because when you mention it, you just lit up like a Christmas tree. So I just want to bless that powerful union. May y'all live, be together for another 99 times 99 more years.
I want to thank
you for your gentle spirit and for just coming on my platform, my brother.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you.
Yes. So again, in the event you want to, not be adopted anymore, you got to call the judge that I'm connected with. Okay.
Okay.
So we're brothers, and I'm gonna hit you up because maybe we can do an Instagram live or something. And I'll talk you through. It's easy.
Okay.
So if you have Instagram, I don't know how long you've had Instagram, uninstall it and reinstall it, because they do a lot of updates and stuff, and that's what helps. So again, I want to thank everyone for tuning to the Women Are Worthy Network. I started off the interview one way and we went left, but it was fun because when you're talking to your brother, your newly adopted, newfound brother, this is what I'm talking about. Social media is not bad, in my opinion, because what I put out is what I get back. So I only get good vibes and good people. So we want to remind everyone the New Year's coming in, share the video, comment the video. Tell me also who you'd like to see. Don't forget to subscribe and like to our channel. And if you have any questions, please I have no problems with you emailing me at the women are worthy at gmail.com. womenareworthy@gmail.com. Because we are worthy, y'all. We are worthy. Thank you for giving me an early birthday present by coming on the platform. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Peace.
Peace.